How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's get right into this review and see what I saw. So I just got back from seeing an awesome new movie that is a Oscar contender and has gotten 13 nominations for the Oscars this year and has the highest nominations for this year as well. And that is the film The Shape of Water. Now, this awesome film is directed by the awesome Mr. Guillermo del Toro. Now, we all recognize Guillermo del Toro from so many great, interesting Spanish horror films and so forth, and he's actually done some producing of, Spanish horror films as well. But a couple great films that I think he directed and were just amazing films were such films as the 2013 action blockbuster film Pacific Rim, which is just an amazing, awesome sci-fi monster, action flick. It just was so well done. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the sequel that comes out in March this year. It'll be interesting to see if it has the same look as the original one, because the original one just was so imaginative and just had a great look and feel. And Guillermo made the crap out of that film. He just made it so awesome and so just really interesting. And I thought the kaijus were amazing looking. The robots themselves looked really awesome. They put a lot of detail into that film and just made a really great action sci-fi film. Another great film that he directed that I think is a masterpiece and just a really good horror thriller type of film. And that is the film Crimson Peak, which was just a really awesome all-around film. The whole storyline was really interesting and bizarre at the same time, and you're just like, what's going on in this film? And you were guessing pretty much the whole entire film. And it's one of those great shocker type of films. You're just really shocked when you find out certain things towards the end of the film, and you're like, wow, this is interesting, this is really cool. Why did it go this way? Why did they go this way? It was just a really awesome imaginative flick, and everyone involved in it, from Mia Wasikowska to Tom Hiddleston and Jessica Chastain in it, they all worked so well together and made a really great film. Now, with Shape of Water, Guillermo did a really interesting and made another amazing type of film. He made it very interesting. There were certain parts of the film I thought he put in that were unnecessary, but at the same time, still, the story itself was really awesome. I love that they brought this creature to life on the big screen, which really reminds me of Abe Sapien from the Hellboy films. And at the same time, I thought the love story that it had was really cool, interesting, and just the whole time period that they set it in was really awesome as well. And everyone involved that worked on it too just made a really interesting and awesome film. And I can definitely see why it got nominated for so many academies this year, because it was really unique and different from anything we've seen in recent years. So this movie has a really awesome and interesting cast. Now, the awesome cast, we can start off with the main, star herself, and that's Miss Sally Hawkins. Now, Sally Hawkins, I really didn't remember from any other films, simply for the fact because I really didn't know who she was until I kind of looked her up again, and I totally forgot I had seen a few films that she has actually been in. One of them happens to be the 2014 awesome reboot of an awesome kaiju monster series, Godzilla, which was a really awesome and amazing movie. I was really impressed with this remake of Godzilla. I love the look of Godzilla. I thought everyone involved made a really awesome film, and I love the bad guy creatures in it too as well. I think they were really interesting and different looking. And I love the take that they took this one on. They, unlike the ones that we grew up with in the 70s, 80s, and stuff like that, it's kind of funny seeing something become a little bit more serious type. And so that's what they did with this Godzilla film. And Sally Hawkins actually has a part in it I thought was very interesting, and I totally forgotten that she was in it. But she did a really good job in the film. I really enjoyed it, and it really brought the whole story together, and she was a great addition to the film. Another film she was in that I absolutely adore this movie. I think it's such an amazing film, just all around awesome film. And I don't think it got enough credit for how good of a film it was. A great family film, too, as well. And that is the first film that actually had a sequel come out this year. And that is Paddington, the movie, which was a really awesome book series I remember reading growing up as a kid. And I just remember thinking, oh, Paddington is like so awesome. He eats this marmalade, and he's a bear, and he wears clothes and stuff. And I remember thinking that was so cool. And so when they finally turned him into a live adaptation movie, I thought that was a really awesome idea. And I thought they did it so beautifully and well done. It really was an interesting and really fun film. And another thing about it is I totally forgot that Sally Hawkins actually plays the main female character in the film. And I totally forgot that. And I was like watching her in The Shape of Water. I'm like, man, she looks familiar. And then I'm like, looked it up and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's the main chick from Paddington. I was like, wow, I can't believe I didn't remember that was her. And I just remember she was so awesome in Paddington, and I absolutely loved her character. She was like so sweet and down to earth in the film, and just fun and enjoyable to watch. And that's what she brought to The Shape of Water. She really brought an interesting, unique character to the film. And her pretty much being mute for the whole film, not having a voice in the film, she really was able to portray and do the sign language so eloquently and just like really smooth, and you really believe that she was really a mute. She did such an amazing job. She was really interesting in the film. I really enjoyed her. She definitely made the film different and inspiring, and she worked so well with everyone. And just did a really amazing job. I was really impressed with her character in the film, and I really enjoyed it. And she made a really good and awesome movie, and was a great addition to the cast. We also have in the film an awesome actor who I absolutely think is just one of the most amazing and underrated actors around. It doesn't get enough credit, and he should have won an Oscar for Nocturnal Animals because he was so awesome in it. And that's Mr. Michael Shannon, who I just think is awesome, and I think he plays such great, gritty characters and just plays them to the T. Now, a couple awesome films that he's been in are such films as the awesome Superman reboot, Man of Steel, which he plays General Zod, and he was just really awesome as Zod. And his presence, he just made Zod come to life. He was actually one of the better Zods I've seen over the years, through like Superman TV series and movies and such and stuff like that. I just think he was the best Zod. And he just played it so, eloquently, and he just made the role, made it his role, and just made a really good film. I think that's probably one of the best Superman films in recent years. Most definitely better than Superman Returns. But definitely it's just a really awesome role by Michael Shannon. He just did an amazing job in it. He really kicked butt in that film. Another great film, and I already mentioned the name of it, is an awesome film that came out a couple years ago that was considered for a couple Oscars. And just, it was a really interesting and different film. And it was definitely one I was like watching and going, this is very different. I'm not really sure about it, but at the same time, I'm finding this interesting and entertaining. And that's the film Nocturnal Animals. And Nocturnal Animals just was a really interesting, different film. And Aaron Taylor Johnson was in it and was really awesome. And so was Jake Gyllenhaal and Amy Adams, and everyone involved was just really awesome. But Michael Shannon's character in that film was just so amazing. He just played that character to the T, and he deserves so much more credit for how amazing that character was. And I was just blown away by his performance in the film. I was literally sitting there watching it and just going, man, he is awesome. And just, he was so believable and just was really awesome, and I really enjoyed him in it. Now, coming into The Shape of Water, I knew that I was going to enjoy his character anyways, because I already liked him as an actor. But after seeing him in this, I'm like, he played such an amazing bad guy in this film. He, once again, just upped that anarchy and just kept bringing that up, taking that level and bringing it from 5 to 10, because he was so awesome in this film. And his looks and his expressions are all of his acting ability. They really do. And you could just see the stern in his face and how mad he was about certain things, and how how he's like thinking things over. He's a really awesome actor, and he was so good in this film. Definitely, I would see this movie just to see Michael Shannon because he was so awesome in it. Really enjoyed him in it. Thought he did an amazing job. Worked very well with everyone, and just brought the film all together. Another actor we have in the film, and who was an awesome addition to the film, is none other than Mr. Richard Jenkins, who is just an awesome and funny like actor in all aspects. He's great at drama. He's great at comedy. He's great at being like a more like serious role too as well, drama. He's just a really well-rounded actor, and he just has had some great movies over the years that I think are just so funny and just really fun films. And a couple of those films that he was in, one was an awesome film that came out in 2011 that was based on a book and a certain character that we've seen in a previous film, in such a film called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And that is the Johnny Depp film, The Rum Diary. And Rick Jenkins' character in that film was just super hilarious and fun, so enjoyable, and he just brought the movie together and made it so good. Him playing off of Johnny Depp's character in the film, along with everyone else in the film, they just made it great, funny film. And it was just a really interesting take on Thomas Hunter, and basically about a little bit about his life and all that kind of good stuff. And it was a different role for Richard Jenkins a little bit too. At the same time, it wasn't just comedy; it was a little bit of a serious role too as well. I really enjoyed seeing him take it to a whole new level and how different it was, and just taking that from his normal comedy element that we've seen a lot of, and bringing that dramatic element and bringing in some sarcasm elements and stuff like that. It was just a really fun role, and I really enjoyed him in it. Another great film that he was in that is an instant horror classic, I think, and just a great remake. And this is a film that came out in 2012, and it's the remake of A Cabin in the Woods. That film was actually really awesome. I was really impressed with it. I loved Chris Hemsworth in it. I loved everyone that was involved, and Richard Jenkins' character was just super hilarious in that film. I thought he was so super funny, and just every line he talked about or said, you just started cracking up because he was just like so sarcastic about it. It was just a really good role, really fun and enjoyable. It was definitely a funny role, and just made the movie very fun. Really liked it. I thought it was a great movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Remake of The Cabin in the Woods. Really fun. But in The Shape of Water, Richard Jenkins is amazing. I absolutely loved his character. I thought it was so intense, but at the same time so like joyful and endearing. And he just was really amazing in the film. Once again, he brought that comedy element along, gave it more dramatic element, and just made the role so intense and wonderful. He really brought the film together and made it such a wonderful film, especially with him narrating the film a little bit too. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a really cool element, and just an all-around awesome and fun key to the film. And it just was such an amazing role. I loved how his how lonely he was, and how he was trying to make it in this society and try to be this person and be friends with Sally Hawkins' character. I just loved all about his character, and I thought it was very emotional, and definitely brought a lot of characterization to the character, and I thought it was a really good role. We also have in the film playing the main creature actor in this, and he's played many creatures for Guillermo del Toro, and has been in a lot of great movies and doing different characters and so forth. And that's Mr. Doug Jones. Doug Jones is just an amazing, actor, chameleon, because he basically can blend into any character, and you don't realize it's Doug himself unless you actually see Doug. But at the same time, he just always brings an interesting and awesome characterization to all the characters he plays. A couple of films that I really loved his characters in were such films as the awesome and amazing 1993 horror comedy / kids film Hocus Pocus. He played Billy Bones, and I think that's absolutely hilarious. I remember watching that as a kid and going, holy crap. I'm like, that guy is hilarious. I love his character. And then when I finally found out that he was the same person that played Abe Sapien in the Hellboy movies, I was like, oh, that's freaking awesome. I absolutely love that. And I thought that was just really cool, that how immersive he was and how he can just transform himself into all these different characters. Because I mean, he's played everything from that to being the Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four 2 film. He's been in a whole bunch of things, and just he's a really awesome character actor. Another great film that he was in, and I absolutely thought he was awesome in his short part in the film, is the also another Guillermo del Toro film, Pan's Labyrinth. The demon character he plays, that's really short scene though, still at the same time was so powerful and moving to Pan's Labyrinth. And he just was so awesome. I thought it was a cool little tidbit about that is that he actually had learned Spanish for that role so that he could speak the words that that creature says in the movie. But unfortunately, I guess his Spanish wasn't good enough, or it wasn't been able to be heard clear enough, so they unfortunately had to dub in another voiceover actor. But still, he put all that effort into it, and I thought that was really awesome and a really cool tidbit for Pan's Labyrinth. But all around, he was just awesome in Pan's Labyrinth and just did a really good job. But in The Shape of Water, he played the creature to the T. He was just so amazing. He brought a lot of character and warmth to the character. He really, portrayed the character and creature in a great way, and you felt his pain. You felt how he felt. He did an amazing job with his, physical gestures to really show you what he was feeling, and I thought that was a really amazing job by Doug. And he did a really great job. I really enjoyed his character of that creature, and it was just a great new character for him to play and for us to enjoy at the same time, because it was just so super awesome. Really, really awesome. Doug Jones, he's the man. Really awesome. Another couple honorable mentions that are in the film as well are such people as the awesome Michael Stuhlbarg, who is an amazing actor. He actually plays two different characters in the film, and I thought that was really awesome. And at the same time, I think he's just a really awesome character actor. Between this film and then Men in Black 3, I thought he was awesome in 2 as well. And he's just really popping up all over the place. He was just in Fargo Season 3 as well. And he's a super awesome character actor. And I thought that his portrayal in Shape of Water was just really awesome and really fun. And you kind of were rooting for him because he was trying to help. And you're like, he's just really cool. And you're like, I really like his character. And that's how you come out feeling, is like you really enjoyed his characters and thought they were really cool. Another honorable mention that's in the film too, that's also got a supporting actress nomination, is Miss Octavia Spencer, who's just an amazing actor, and just an amazing person too as well. She is so awesome in everything I've seen her in, from the film The Help to Hidden Figures. She is just a really great actress, and she get a lot more credit for how good of an actress she is. She's so good at comedy along with drama, and she just brought a lot of fun to the film and a lot of great one-liners and stuff like that in the film. She was just super awesome, and I really enjoyed her, and I'm glad she got nominated for an Oscar. She definitely deserved it. She was so good in it. But if you're not familiar with what The Shape of Water is about, basically what the premise of the film is, it's supposed to be during the 1950s, and this mute lady who works at this facility as a janitor basically ends up coming across having to clean this area where this creature they have brought back from a certain area that the government is trying to basically dissect and discover what it is. And she ends up kind of falling in love with the creature, and begins a relationship with the creature. And then pretty much the rest of the film is about their relationship, what she does to get him out of there, and basically get back into the wild so that he's set free, basically. And so it's an interesting love story / kind of creature feature, kind of drama film, and it was very interesting. It was definitely good. It was very fun to watch. Like I said, there was a couple scenes I felt that were so unnecessary for the film. But other than that, the rest of the film was so beautiful and awesome. Just a really great feature. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, especially if you're big into watching all the Best Picture films before the Oscars happen in March. Definitely check it out. Such worth a watch. Really fun. Great on the big screen. Everyone was really awesome in the film. Just really, really wonderful film. I really enjoyed it. Can't wait to see it again eventually, and hopefully it wins some Oscars, because it does deserve to win some Oscars. It was really awesome film. Really enjoyed it. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up on this one, guys. definitely deserves those movie boxes. Really cool. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And always, thank you for subscribing. And this is your first time here, or if you've been here before and haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss one of these awesome new videos or any of my videos that I put up. As always, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. As always, please check that link out down below about the awesome horror pack, especially if you're a huge horror fan or you love to collect things or even collect just movies. This is an awesome subscription service you can get right to your door of awesome horror goodness. Now, this comes with either 4 DVDs or 4 Blu-rays of random horror films. And also, each box comes with an awesome limited edition that you can't get anywhere else that's exclusive to the awesome horror pack. And each box is just awesomeness. It's just so amazing. So if you are interested in signing up, or if you are going to sign up, let me know down in the comments so I can hook you up with a discount on your first month. And as always, catch you next one.